Here we have the brand new mid-engine C8 Corvette. You can tell by the front that it takes inspiration from the past two generations of the Corvette, the C6, the C7, the exposed headlight versions. But they really dialed it up quite a bit for this. The hood is shorter, you can see that, so it loses some of that Corvette DNA that you've come to love. But when you look at it, it is unmistakably Corvette. It is quite interesting how they were able to pull that off. It's just so aggressive how they have those fangs down there and the hood angles and the stance and how it looks like it's not just moving when it's standing still, but it's trying to come attack you. Really impressive how they were able to pull that off. It's quite striking, really quite a production. Good job, Chevy. And that's the front there. You can see there's tons of room for storage in there, which is surprising because usually, manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, they don't give you as much room in that front. Headlights are absolutely gorgeous. They went with an LED design. You have the side scoops there, which were pretty controversial leading up to the launch, but I think they do look pretty good in person. You're going to have to wait to see it for yourselves to make that judgment call if you're not sold already. The motor there is a carryover from the 6.2 LT1. It has changed slightly for the mid-engine configuration. They did switch to a complete dry sump system in all the units, which actually allows the motor to sit lower in the frame because the oil pan's actually been relocated a little higher in the engine bay. So it actually increases or lowers your center of gravity, which is going to be just fantastic on the track. Very aggressive splitter on the rear. Controversial exhaust pipes. Corvette has been known to put the exhaust pipes in the center for the last 25 years. However, because of the way the dual clutch is set up back there, there really doesn't seem to be enough room for the central mounted exhaust. We'll have to see what the aftermarket does. Now, the interior is kind of what steals the show for a lot of people. This is a wild departure from any Corvettes in the past. You really haven't seen this level of quality, fit and finish, trim in any Corvette really ever. It's quite phenomenal. Look at all the extra little bezels and trim pieces and brushed aluminum that they put in there to really step it up, not to mention the leather. It's just phenomenal. The engine bay does have a dress-up package. You can see the carbon fiber on the frame rail structure there. That is an option. There's also LED lights back there because the motor is exposed when the hatch is closed, so you can actually really dial up that view. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Wow. Who would have thought Corvette exposed motor? I'm really excited to see how this performs on the track and how it stacks up against the competition. Let's go through some of the options. It's a crazy departure from generations before. You'll see the colors here. There's a lot of carryover colors. However, there are two brand new colors in Accelerate Yellow and Rapid Blue. Very exotic looking, very supercar. You could tell they're really going for it. Look at those yellow calipers. They're unlike the yellow they used before. It's got a really cool metallic, almost a little green in there. Very supercar. It's that two-tone blue again. You don't see radical interior colors like that, especially not in a base model. Even the seatbelt configurations, the customizations there, things like that are usually reserved for, Ferraris and Porsche RS variants and things like that. You're not really getting that in a base model vehicle. Of course, they do cost extra and it will bring the price up from a base model, but just having those options on a vehicle like that is phenomenal. The steering wheel, it's a mixed bag on the reviews. I personally do like it. The square bottom and the square top with that big wide opening at the top there gives you a great view of the road and your gauge board. However, you also get extra legroom and knee room by having that squared off bottom. So that, a lot of people are going to be able to actually fit in the Vette now that weren't able before because that knee room. It's still going to be very tight, but it is possible now. So you can see they're working with any opportunity they have. There's a wheel there with the contrast stitching, leather wrap versus suede. again, that customization that we're seeing on this Corvette's phenomenal. Like 3 different wheel options on a base model car. I can only just imagine what the Z06 and the Zora, the ZR1, or whatever the top spec's going to be. It's just mind blowing. Me personally, being a Corvette fan, pretty well my whole life, you know, going on 30 years now. It's just phenomenal to see all this. You have 3 different seat options. You'll see coming this way, you have the GT1 seat, GT2 in the middle, and the competition seat at the end there. The comp seat is going to be the most expensive, most aggressive. However, interestingly, even though it does look bigger with the bigger bolsters, it does appear that this is going to be the seat for tall people. Look how deep that goes in comparison to the GT2 beside it. So it looks like with that seat, you're going to be getting extra headroom. Again, making it possibly the better option for the really tall guys, like the 6'3 plus guys, right? At 6'2, I know I'll be fine in either seat. You know, there's a GT2 there. It gives you lots of color options. But the GT1 seat, honestly, if you get past not having carbon fiber and stuff like that, it's a great seat. And I think I'll be happy with that. We'll see what happens when pricing releases. My deposit's down, but I haven't selected anything. But I think I'll be sticking with the GT1 personally. It seems to give me everything I need. And I do like the look of it. Like I don't know. To me, I think it's a great looking seat. Wheels, nothing really special. It's kind of disappointing this time around. Corvettes, you know, for OEM, you know, manufacturer wheel that comes with the car, they've always had some pretty cool wheels, right? The past ZR1s, the Grand Sport rims, even when the C6 launched, you know, with those 5 stars. So we'll see what the aftermarket can do.
All right, man, we'll see you guys. We hear a rev. Let's get a rev.
Sound never gets old. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you stopping in. This was my first review ever, and really excited for what the channel's going to be bringing pretty soon. We have some really cool stuff planned. We have vehicle purchases planned. We have cars that we're borrowing. We're going to have some really cool reviews coming up. Not 100% on the timeline for our original content that we'll be bringing out pretty soon, but go ahead and subscribe. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be a little different. And please, you know, let me know how I did in the comments below. If there's anything I can be doing or anything I'm missing, let me know. We want to make sure we're using these opportunities to really kind of perfect everything before we go big with the cool stuff we have planned. So again, talk to you guys soon, and get at me in the comments. All the best, guys.